Hello everybody, how's it going today? Glowplasma here about Märchen Crown, chapter number 35. This chapter is titled The Sleeping Capital, of course, because our group, our party of heroes currently, Kreuz, Mikel, Volka, and Rapunzel, are all heading to the Sleeping Capital, or we actually don't know if it is the true capital city of Flamma. All we know is it's a city called Rawfield, where it seems that Prince Guillem is the prince of the area pretty much, right? And of course, we know that some things are going on. People are falling asleep, and yeah, it's some weird things are happening, right? We're even going to start off this chapter and see that the whole idea of the last chapter was like, oh no, this sort of mist is spreading all around, putting so many people to sleep, and it's pretty much hit all Flamma, and right now the only people who are really okay is we see Kreuz here, and then of course Mikel fell asleep and Rapunzel and Volk all did too, but we see that Kreuz has this like needle thing that he's able to pretty much like punch into Mikel, Rapunzel, and Volka to end up waking them up. And the whole idea is like, oh, it may spread, and we're going to see in the beginning of this chapter. Well, it makes it all the way to Panzina, you know what I'm saying? But either way, this is honestly a very interesting chapter because it does everything that I laugh at Märchen Crown for doing, and honestly, I think this is a pretty good chapter. There's a few like very concerning words at the end of this chapter as far as like how much longer this series is going to last, and as much as I may talk, honestly, about how bad this series is and really funny this series is and back and forth, at the end of the day, I only cover the series on the YouTube channel because I enjoy talking about it. And because I enjoy talking about it, that's what we're doing right now, right? But either way, honestly, I just want to hop into a chapter I talked about what happened last time. So yeah, let's just hop into Märchen Crown, chapter number 35. Well, as I mentioned, we start off in Panzina, where we see that Mikel is over at Lafina's place, and the two of them are sort of just, like, hanging out, and we see there's just a massive rain outside, like, almost torrential downpour, it looks like. And we see that Lafina's inside sort of, like, cleaning up some dishes, and after that, the two of them ate pretty much. And she's like, man, it's already been a week since they left already. I really hope Rapunzel's doing okay. And Mikel is sort of sitting here, he's got like a glass of wine, and he's like, you worry too much. She's got Mikel with her, you know? And Lafina's like, yeah, I suppose so. And all of a sudden, we hear a clank. It's actually more of like a thud, as Lafina turns around to see Mikel just like face on the table and a wine glass just like spilling over everywhere, right? And she's like, Mikel, did that glass of wine get you drunk or something like that? I didn't think you had such a low tolerance for alcohol. As we see that Lafina is currently like cleaning this plate off in her hands, wiping it off, drying it, and the plate falls to the ground as well along with the towel, and Lafina's arms start to like drip down beside her, and she's like, that's odd, I feel so sleepy, and she falls onto the ground as well as the rain just continues outside, and we see, wow, the sleepiness has made it all the way to Panzina. That is not good whatsoever. But as this happens, we then cut over to the city of Rawfield, where Mikel, Rapunzel, and Kreuz are entering the gates of the city. And Kreuz is just like, all right, we've arrived. There's no doubt that he's in here. And as everybody sort of walks in, Rapunzel sort of like, wow, they really are all asleep. And not just here, but all of the townspeople on the way that we saw too. Like, just how come are we okay, mister? And Kreuz holds out in his hand this spindle. It wasn't a needle, it was sort of this spindle here in the moment. He's like, it's thanks to this. And Rapunzel's like, and Mikel sort of finishes the sentence like, a spindle? As Kreuz just explains that a certain person entrusted this to me while on the run. Supposedly, anyone pricked by it can escape the curse for a time. And he says, Rapunzel, I want you to carry it. Once the fight begins, neither Mikel nor I will be able to move freely. Should either of us fall asleep for whatever reason, use this to wake us. And Rapunzel's like, okay, and she sort of looks down like, hey, I'm counting on you to get me places, Volka, and Volka like nods her head here in her wolf form. As they all walk up, and Kreuz walks to these big double doors, and he says, all right, let us enter then. And the doors creak open. These are like big doors too, like probably at least 40 feet tall, you know? It's almost like the Hunter training gate doors at the Killua estate pretty much. It's sort of like that, or the Zodiac estate. It's pretty much like that sort of whole thing there. As the doors creak open. And Michael's like, what in the world? As they walk in here to this throne room. And there are giant balls of silk all around the room, almost like cocoons. And in the center of the room, strung up above everything on the ceiling, is this big, big ball, just completely woven with spider web and thread all together. And Michael's like, what is that thread? No, it's spider webs. As Kreuz just says, yes, this is also his doing. We'll go in as far as we can, tread quietly as to not arouse suspicion. And Rapunzel, as we're walking through, ends up seeing all of these cocoons sort of like shoved into all of the various like corners and sides of the room. And she looks over, and we see that whoever was wrapping all of these people up in these cocoons didn't do a good enough job, as we see there's just a lady here, just head sticking out of the cocoon. And Rapunzel's like, wait, there's like a person trapped in the threads. And Kreuz is like, leave them. Anyone caught in a web is already beyond help. But Rapunzel, like, she just can't stand for this, as she hops off of Volca and runs over to the cocoon with this woman. And Kreuz is like, hey, listen to what I tell you. And Rapunzel's like, hey, but if we wake her, we might be able to save her. As she goes over with the spindle and just pricks it into this woman's neck. And her eyes flutter open, silk and cocoon still stuck to her face in some spots, and her eyes open, and she's, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, thanks goodness, like, she's awake. Hey, are you all right, ma'am? And she's like, and her eyes just roll back in her head, and her neck just cranes back as she just screams, no, my stomach! And Kreuz is like, you fool, get back now! As all of a sudden, from these threads, a few spider legs pop out, and we just see thousands of spiders ripping out of this cocoon here in the moment. Rapunzel screams, not knowing what to do, as she runs back over to where Michael and everybody else is. And Michael's like, Rapunzel, are you okay? And she's like, Michael, like, what's happening? And he's like, I mean, are those like tiny spiders coming out of the cocoons? Like, that's what I'm seeing pretty much. And Kreuz is like, damn it, this scene is sure to draw his attention. As the big cocoon in the middle of the room starts to speak. My, do I have visitors? Sounds like voices I've heard before. How pleasing, even after all that has happened. Would you still fulfill your duty to me? I would expect no less from the loyal captain of my royal guard, Kreuz. And you, Michael, we meet again at last, along with my dear long-haired maiden. Won't you all bear my children as well? As we see ripping out from this cocoon is a giant spider with the face of Prince Gulam. 5 eyes adorn his head now, only 2 in their regular locations. Jewelry in gold adorn the arms and legs of this spider, as we just get this panel sort of showing the, oh crap, there's a big spider here, with Michael and Kreuz both holding out their blades, and then Rapunzel here in the moment just riding Volca like, oh no, what do we do? As Kreuz just says, are you ready, Michael? We shall vanquish this beast with our own hands. As Michael grabs out his blade as well and just says, yes, right, I'll make this our final battle. As Prince Gulam, the spider, goes in for the attack. And that's where we end this chapter of Märchen Crown at chapter number 35. Now, I'm going to be completely real. This just shows how sometimes reading a manga chapter doesn't really give you the full understanding of what the chapter is talking about, because I'm going to be so real. I originally read this chapter. This is also the last chapter of Märchen Crown I've read up to this point. There have been 2 more releases at the point I'm recording this video, but I've read no more past this chapter number 35 right here. And I think I read this chapter now 4 weeks ago or something like that, maybe even like 3 weeks ago. It was pretty much right when this was the last chapter that had come out, and at the time, I'm like, oh, Michael's like, we'll make this our final battle, so like, oh, is the series just getting ready to end? And it's only now in sitting down and actually talking about this series and breaking down everything that happens within it, I finally sort of realized that this is Michael sort of saying in the moment, hey, I will make this the final battle that me and Rapunzel have to fight in because we don't want to hurt anybody or get hurt anymore, which does make a lot of sense for the general story as things go here, right? Either way, a very intriguing chapter. I mean, I sort of get where the whole, like, spindle and spiderweb thing is coming from. Of course, it seems like Talia's ability has something to do with all of this and, like, causing probably not with the spiders, but making everybody fall asleep. And maybe it's like Prince Gulam or something just going through and like, oh, so pretty much what's happened is I have captured Talia and I'm maybe using her power in some shape, way, or form. I'm not really so sure, but it seems like Talia also gave Kreuz a spindle, which then he does entrust with Rapunzel, which is a very interesting thing. And through this chapter, I honestly don't think that Kreuz is trying to like double cross anybody. It just wouldn't make sense at this point unless like this is like some vision in a dream world or something that Talia has created, but even still, like, I don't know, it's sort of just trying to figure out why Prince Gulam turns into a spider and wants to have all of these children within people and all of these baby spiders. I don't know, it's sort of weird, but I guess it's more for us to explore next time in Märchen Crown. Really, I don't think there's anything else I really want to talk about with this chapter. No, I don't know. The thing is, I'm not scared of spiders in general. Like, yeah, I've come in contact with them. I've worked on a farm for most of my life, so in the process, I've seen plenty of black widows, and of course had those like, oh crap moments, there's a black widow there, and those aren't really good spiders to be bitten by and all of that various stuff. But even with that, I've never really been afraid of spiders, so I'm sure somebody who's like, oh no, spiders are not my thing, wouldn't have a great time with this chapter. But let's just see. If Märchen Crown starts introducing like snake enemies, then oh, we are so done. This series may be over on the channel. I am not a snake guy, but I'm not really a spider guy either, but like I would much rather be around in a room with a spider in it than a room with a snake. I don't want to talk about this anymore. I'm almost going to speak it into existence, right? But either way, legitimately, I thought a pretty good chapter of Märchen Crown, which is something I haven't said in a little while. But yeah, if you did enjoy this video of Märchen Crown, this was chapter number 35 again, titled The Sleeping City. Or it was the Sleeping Capital, my bad. I got one C word messed up with another one talking about civilizations. Oh my. But I've covered this series since chapter number 1 on my YouTube channel here at Glowplasma on YouTube, and the playlist with all the other Märchen Crown videos will be in the description box of this video along with the end card of this video as well. These videos also go up on podcasting platforms such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all of that under the podcast Glowplasma Talks. And yeah, I will catch you guys next time for chapter number 36 of Märchen Crown. Again, this was chapter number 35, and yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. This will be Glowplasma signing out.